Welcome to the channel. Here are 20 random facts that you probably didn't know. Fact 1. The Henry Ford Company, formed in 1901, was dissolved in 1902 due to financial difficulties and disagreements between Henry Ford and his backers. Ford's financial backers called in engineer Henry M. Leland to appraise the plant for liquidation. Leland persuaded them to continue making cars at the plant using Leland's engine design. Henry Leland formed a new car company called Cadillac. Cadillac quickly became known for its precision manufacturing and high-quality automobiles, and it eventually became a division of General Motors in 1915. Fact 2. A rocket from an F-4 Phantom was accidentally fired on the deck of the USS Forrestal due to a power surge. The rocket struck the fuel tank of an A-4 Skyhawk, causing a fire which then detonated the aircraft bombs. 21 aircraft were lost, 40 damaged, and 167 sailors killed and another 60 injured. The fire was one of the deadliest accidents in U.S. Navy history, and it led to significant changes in military procedures and safety protocols to prevent such tragedies in the future. Fact 3. The Nobu restaurant chain was founded by actor Robert De Niro, who spent 5 years trying to convince world-famous chef Nobu Matsuhisa that they should open a restaurant together before Nobu finally agreed. Robert De Niro was a fan of Nobu Matsuhisa's cooking and dined at his restaurant in Beverly Hills. Impressed by the cuisine, De Niro approached Matsuhisa with the idea of opening a restaurant together in New York. However, Matsuhisa initially declined the offer. De Niro continued to encourage Matsuhisa over 5 years, demonstrating his commitment to the partnership. The Nobu restaurant chain was co-founded by Robert De Niro, renowned chef Nobu Matsuhisa, and film producer Meir Tipper, and is now a globally recognized luxury restaurant brand with locations in major cities around the world. Fact 4. In ancient Greece, some myths and folklore suggested that individuals with red hair were associated with vampires or other supernatural beings. This idea arose because red hair was uncommon among Greeks, whose population predominantly had darker hair and olive-toned skin. Redheads' sensitivity to sunlight and their pale skin may have contributed to this perception, aligning with vampire myths involving avoidance of sunlight. Fact 5. The sun is extremely loud. Although we can't hear it due to the vacuum of space, the sun produces massive amounts of energy through nuclear fusion, which generates sound waves. If sound could travel through space, which it cannot because sound requires a medium like air or water, the sun would produce an estimated noise level of around 100 decibels on Earth, comparable to standing near a loud rock concert. At its source, the sun's noise would be far louder, potentially reaching 290 decibels, far beyond human hearing thresholds and dangerously loud. Fact 6. Elephants exhibit remarkable altruism. Elephants have been observed helping injured elephants, rescuing other animals, and even assisting humans in distress. Their empathy and care for others are truly extraordinary. Fact 7. Hello Ma Baby was the first popular song about the telephone and was about a man dating a lady over the phone without having ever met her in person. Hello, Ma Baby was written in 1899 by Joseph E. Howard and Ida Emerson. The song has been featured in numerous old cartoons. Fact 8. Ferrets, dogs, and monkeys were the most popular pets in the Roman Empire. Instead of cats, ancient Romans used ferrets to hunt mice and rats. They used dogs as guards and monkeys as entertainment. Fact 9. Japan has been the top robot exporter in the world, with its share being 30.6% in 2023. This is based on export values, with Japan's exports totaling approximately $2.2 billion. Fact 10. In 2010, a 2-ton hippo escaped from a Montenegro zoo during a flood. After wandering around nearby farms for 10 days, she returned to her pen on her own accord. Her keepers had been keeping a close eye on her, giving her food when she came close to the zoo and covering her with hay at night. If you're enjoying these facts, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you'll know when we post our next set of facts. Fact 11. Media tycoon Kerry Packer once paid off a cocktail waitress $130,000 mortgage after he accidentally bumped into her, causing her to spill her drinks. Another time he paid off a cocktail waitress's $150,000 mortgage as a tip for good service. Fact 12. The first spacewalk was plagued with issues including Alexei Leonov's feet coming out of his boots, not being able to fit back inside the capsule, landing in a forest in winter without a heater, and they waited nearly 2 days for rescue, while facing threats from local wildlife such as wolves. Fact 13. In 1982, an artist and her assistants grew, cared for, and harvested an entire wheat field in the middle of New York City, on top of what was then a landfill next to the World Trade Center, a piece of land worth $4.5 billion at the time. The Wheatfield: A Confrontation by artist Agnes Den was meant to explore themes of humanity's relationship with nature, economics, and the environment. It made a bold commentary on the prioritization of wealth and development over nature, especially considering the land's high real estate value. Fact 14. In 18th century England, pineapples were a rare and exotic fruit symbolizing wealth, status, and hospitality. Due to their rarity and the high cost of growing or importing them, pineapples were often rented out to wealthy individuals as a status symbol to display at social gatherings or dinner parties. Fact 15. More Nevada residents were born in California than in Nevada itself. Many Californians moved to Nevada for its lower cost of living, no state income tax, and more affordable housing. Fact 16. Biofouling, the accumulation of organisms, such as barnacles, where they are not wanted, like on ship hulls, causes degradation to the primary purpose of the item. Biofouling can require up to 40% more fuel to compensate for increased drag and reduced speeds. Fact 17. The White House was much more accessible to the public in the 19th century. After Andrew Jackson's inauguration in 1829, a crowd of approximately 20,000 people followed him back to the White House. This event, known as the inaugural open house, turned chaotic, as the rowdy crowd packed into the building, damaging furniture and carpets. Jackson himself had to flee to a nearby hotel to escape the overwhelming crowd. Eventually, White House aides lured the guests outside by placing tubs of whiskey and orange juice on the lawn, allowing order to be restored. Fact 18. Oceans have their own deserts. In the middle of the oceans there are areas called oceanic gyres where the water is nutrient-poor and life is sparse, much like deserts on land. The largest of these is the North Pacific Gyre, known for its lack of life and the accumulation of plastic debris. Fact 19. The Philippines has more than 7,000 islands. The Philippines is an archipelago consisting of 7,641 islands, making it one of the largest island nations in the world. These islands are divided into 3 main geographical divisions: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Speaking of the Philippines, fact 20, they have the world's longest Christmas season. Filipinos are known for having the longest Christmas celebration in the world. The festive season begins as early as September and continues until January, with decorations, songs, and celebrations filling the streets for months. The Philippines is also home to the world's largest Christmas lantern festival in San Fernando, Pampanga, GAP 1S. As we wrap up this fascinating journey through an array of intriguing facts, let's take a moment to recap some of the highlights. We looked into the history of the Henry Ford Company, explored the tragic USS Forrestal fire, and visited an extended Christmas season showcased the wonders of nature and culture. Thank you for joining us in this exploration. Your curiosity and support make these journeys possible. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating content. Until next time, keep discovering one fact at a time. GAP 5S.